Hi all. In this class we are going to discuss previous year questions on types of unemployment. So we had a detailed class on types of unemployment where we discussed about voluntary, involuntary, disguised, cyclical and natural rate of unemployment. Okay. So and we also have discussed frictional and structural unemployment, where the combination of that gives the natural rate of unemployment. So in this class we are going to discuss the previous year questions which were asked based on the types of unemployment topic. So this is a question on 2012 June paper 2. It's an assertion reason question. So we know that when there is an assertion reason question, we have to read both the statements, both the assertion and reason carefully, and have to find whether the statements are correct and whether they are related to each other, and accordingly we have to choose the options. So here the first statement is disguised unemployment is present in agricultural sector or Indian agriculture, and our reason is given as marginal productivity of agriculture is close to zero. So here there are two concepts. Okay, so one is based on the disguised unemployment in Indian agriculture and the second one is based on the marginal productivity of the agriculture sector. So here the first statement is disguised unemployment is present in Indian agriculture. So that statement is 10% correct because Indian agriculture is taken into consideration. Agriculture sector is where we have surplus labor, and we know that this disguised unemployment is mainly found in overpopulated countries, and India being the second largest country when it comes to the population, India is definitely an overpopulated country, and disguised unemployment is definitely present in agriculture sector of India. And moving on to the reason, it's on marginal productivity of agriculture is close to zero. So when is the marginal productivity of agriculture close to zero or negative? When there is disguised unemployment. So when there is disguised unemployment, that means the marginal productivity of the labor is zero. Okay, so the labor is appeared to be employed, but the effect of his employment is not seen on the total output. The marginal productivity of a particular labor is found zero or negative. So that is basically the outcome of disguised unemployment. So both the statements are related, and the reason given is a correct explanation of the assertion. Okay, so disguised unemployment is present in Indian agriculture because India is an overpopulated country, and since due to the excess or surplus labor in the agriculture sector, the marginal productivity of the labor is appeared to be zero or negative. So both the assertion and reason are correct, and reason is the correct explanation of assertion. So answer will be A. Both A and R are correct, and R is the correct explanation of A. So see, here it is. The disguised unemployment is a type of unemployment usually found in overpopulated, underdeveloped countries, and more particularly in agricultural sector. So when India is taken, India is an overpopulated developing economy, but the surplus labor is available in the agricultural sector. And some of these workers are surplus as they do not add anything to the volume of production. So when there is surplus labor in overpopulated country, some of the laborers are appeared to be employed, but they are not adding anything to the total production, and at that time their marginal productivity, that is addition to the production made by additional unit of labor, is zero or negative. Okay, so this is the clear case of explanation given for the question. So marginal productivity is zero when there is disguised unemployment, and this is true in case of Indian agriculture. Okay, so answer is A. Both assertion and reason are correct, and reason is the correct explanation of assertion. Moving on to the next question, 2013 June paper 2. If 1 is equal to involuntary unemployment and 2 equal to disguised unemployment and 3 equal to frictional unemployment and 4 equal to structural unemployment, then full employment is consistent with, we are given with 4 options: A 1 and 2, B 2 and 3, C 3 and 4, and D 1 and 4. So here the question is, when did the full employment is consistent? Okay, so full employment, so when we take the concept of full employment, means the economy is at its full potential or full capacity. Okay, so when there is full employment, even though the economy is in full employment, still there exists a possibility of natural rate of unemployment, and that is a combination of the frictional and structural unemployment. That is, the frictional unemployment plus structural unemployment will give you the natural rate of unemployment, and that means full employment is consistent with natural rate of unemployment, which is a combination of frictional and structural unemployment. Okay, and when it comes to the involuntary unemployment and disguised unemployment, we have learned the definition in detail in the class. So with respect to this question, full employment is consistent with frictional unemployment and structural unemployment. So the answer will be 3 and 4. C will be the answer. And what is frictional unemployment? Frictional unemployment is basically the transition of a job from one to the another. Okay, when a person is in search of a new job after resigning the old job. Okay, so that transition from one job to the another is otherwise called frictional unemployment or a search unemployment or otherwise turnover unemployment. So the detailed explanation why it is a search unemployment or why it is a turnover unemployment was discussed in the class. So that is frictional unemployment. And when structural unemployment is basically when the demand, the supply of the labor exceeds the demand of the labor. That means the available labor or the supplied labor is not able to meet the demand requirements of a job. Okay, or the available labor lacks efficiency or skills of the required job. Okay, that is basically structural unemployment. That is basically because of the inefficiencies of the laborers. Okay, so this both the frictional and structural unemployment both are supply side factors. Okay, so these are both are basically supply side factors of unemployment. And here the answer will be C, 3 and 4. Full employment is consistent with structural and frictional unemployment. See, the two of frictional and structural unemployment exist at all times, even when the economy operates at its potential. So when economy is operating at its potential means economy is in full employment, and even though the economy is at full employment, both the structural and frictional unemployment is consistent there. That means there is still a combination of these will be there, that is natural rate of unemployment. And these two types of unemployment together determine the natural rate of unemployment. So clear with the answer? So C will be the answer, 3 and 4. Next question, 2014 June paper 2. Frictional unemployment is also known as option A, disguised unemployment, option B, turnover unemployment, option C, cyclical unemployment, and option D, structural unemployment. So just before when I was explaining the question related to the full employment consistencies and the presence of frictional and structural unemployment, which is the natural rate of unemployment, I have mentioned that frictional unemployment is otherwise known as search unemployment or the turnover unemployment, right? So here this question is, what is otherwise frictional unemployment is otherwise known as? So frictional unemployment is otherwise known as turnover unemployment. So what is the reason for it? Frictional unemployment occurs during the normal job search process by individual workers. And since frictional unemployment occurs in the normal process of employee turnover in the labor market, the act of replacing an employee with a new employee, so it is also called turnover unemployment. So what happens? Why it is a turnover unemployment? So when a person is resigning a particular job and trying to find a new job, there is a time gap between these two. So the transition from one job to another have a time gap, and that time gap, that person is appeared to be the frictionally unemployed. Okay, so this frictional unemployment is otherwise a search unemployment because the person is in search of a job. Okay, new job, so search unemployment, and otherwise turnover unemployment. Why? When the employer is in consideration, when a person is resigning from a job, okay, he has to find somebody else instead of his place, okay, in his place. So that basically affects the turnover of the employer. Okay, when a person resigns from a company, the employer still have to find a new person in his space, and that which affects the turnover of his company. So the frictional unemployment, since it is occur in the normal process of employee turnover in the labor market and the act of replacing an employee with a new employee, from the perspective of an employer, it is an act of replacing an employee with a new employee. So that is why it is also called turnover unemployment. Clear? So frictional unemployment is otherwise called turnover unemployment or a search unemployment. So answer will be option B, turnover unemployment. Next question. This question was asked in 2015 June paper 3. Which one of the following is the correct concept of natural rating unemployment? For option, frictionally and structurally unemployed, frictionally and cyclically unemployed, structurally and cyclically unemployed, and frictionally, cyclically and structurally unemployed. So here the answer will be frictionally and structurally unemployed, and cyclical unemployment is not part of the natural rate of unemployment. When natural rate of unemployment, it is based on the supply side aspects. Both the frictional and structural unemployment, both are supply side aspects. There is no demand efficiency when it comes to the full employment or the natural rate of unemployment. But when it comes to the cyclical unemployment, it is basically a demand side aspect. It is due to the demand efficiencies aspect, and it is happening when there is a contractions of the fluctuations in the business cycle. So cyclical unemployment is a demand side oriented aspect of unemployment, whereas frictional and structural unemployment are supply side aspects. And when we take natural rate of unemployment, it is a combination of frictionally and structural unemployment. Okay, so see, the rate of unemployment that prevails when the output and employment are at the full employment level is known as natural level of unemployment. So when the economy is in full potential, or when the economy is in full employment level, and the output, the rate of unemployment that prevails at that point, even after the output and employment are fully employed, that is natural rate of unemployment. Okay, so even after the output and employment are fully employed, still there prevails a rate of unemployment, and that is natural rate of unemployment. And this natural rate of unemployment consists of frictional and structural unemployment, and there is a steady rate of inflation too. Okay, and the idea about the natural rate of unemployment was developed by Milton Friedman and Edmund Phillips. Okay, so here this question is, which of the following is the correct concept of natural rate of unemployment? So here we have told that the natural rate of unemployment consists of frictional and structural unemployment. Therefore, the answer will be 1, frictionally and structurally unemployed. Next question, this was asked in January 2017, paper 3. See, if the actual unemployment rate is below the natural rate of unemployment, it would be expected that the rate of inflation would increase, wages would fall, the Phillips curve would shift to the right, and the natural rate of unemployment would fall. So we have 4 options given based on the natural rate of unemployment. Okay, so see the question. The question is, what if the actual unemployment rate is below the natural rate of unemployment? So what will be the level of inflation if the actual rate of inflation is below the natural rate of inflation? So this concept is sort of related to the long run Phillips curve, and here we have, for time being we will see this explanation. If the actual unemployment rate is less than the NAIRU, that is non-accelerating inflationary rate of unemployment, which is otherwise the natural rate of unemployment, for a few years, then inflationary expectations rise. So the inflation rate tends to increase. If the actual unemployment rate is greater than the NAIRU, inflation expectations fall, so the inflation rate slow down and there is disinflation. If both the unemployment rates and NAIRU are equal, the inflation rate tends to stay the same. Okay, so here we have 3 cases. What happened if the actual rate of unemployment and natural rate of unemployment are same or equal? What happened if actual rate of unemployment is less than the natural rate of unemployment, and what happens if actual rate of unemployment is more than the natural rate of unemployment? So this question is with respect to, what if actual unemployment is less than non-acceleratory inflation rate of unemployment or natural rate of unemployment? So what happens if actual unemployment rate is less than the natural rate of unemployment? The inflationary expectations rises. That means when inflationary expectations rises means then inflation rate tend to increase. Okay, so whereas when actual rate of unemployment is more than the natural rate of unemployment, the inflation tendency falls. Okay, inflation expectations will fall, so that this will leads to a case of disinflation. So when actual rate of inflation is less than natural rate of inflation, there is the possibility of inflation rate to increase. And when the actual rate of unemployment is more than the natural rate of unemployment, there is a possibility of inflation to decrease, and which further leads to disinflation. And when both the unemployment rate and this actual rate of unemployment and NAIRU are equal, then inflation tends to stay the same. So this is the 3 cases. And in this question, what is asked? What if the actual rate of unemployment is below the natural rate of unemployment? So what will be the answer? The rate of inflation would increase. Okay. So here the answer will be 1, the rate of inflation will be increased. The further explanation why this is happening and how this is happening, all we will be studying when we are going through the Phillips curve concept, so the long run Phillips curve. So stay tuned for that, for the detailed elaboration and the graphical explanation regarding the changes of the actual level of unemployment and the natural level of unemployment. Next question, July 2018, paper 2. Non-accelerating inflation rate of unemployment means. We have 4 options. Rate of unemployment for which change in the rate of inflation is 0. Second option, rate of inflation which makes rate of unemployment 0. Option 3, rate of inflation for which change in the rate of unemployment is 0. And option 4, rate of unemployment which is equal to the rate of inflation. Okay, so this question is based on non-accelerating inflation rate of unemployment, which is otherwise NAIRU or natural rate of unemployment. So we know that when natural rate of unemployment is taken, it is basically a combination of frictional and structural unemployment. So that means when an economy is at its full potential, still there exists a unemployment level, okay, which is natural, and that is natural rate of unemployment. So NAIRU is definitely a rate of unemployment, that is a definite. So with that point itself we can eliminate 2 and 3, because in the option 2 and 3 they are given NAIRU is a rate of inflation. So therefore we can easily eliminate 2 and 3 because NAIRU is a rate of unemployment. So that is the first thing. So this is how we can use elimination technique for answering the questions. So NAIRU being the rate of unemployment, and what is happening in the previous question we were discussing that when the actual level of unemployment is less than the natural level of unemployment, inflation tends to increase, and if actual level of unemployment is greater than the natural level of unemployment, then inflation tends to decrease. So these points so inflation is determined based on the changes in the actual level of unemployment and natural level of unemployment, and we have also learned that when both the actual level and the natural level of unemployment is same, basically there is no change in the inflation. So we have just seen the previous equations, previous question, if both the unemployment rate and NAIRU are equal, then inflation tends to stay the same. So these were the things what we have discussed in the previous equation, and here taking NAIRU into consideration, it is basically referred as in the long run Phillips curve. So I have mentioned this NAIRU concepts are when we take the types of unemployment, this NAIRU concept is more related to the long run Phillips curve, and it is a specific level of unemployment that is evident in an economy that does not cause inflation to rise up. Okay, so when an economy is in natural rate of unemployment, so that is a specific level where the inflation will not rise up. Okay, so that is a point there, the inflation, it is that it does not cause inflation to rise up, and NAIRU often represents equilibrium between the state of the economy and the labor market. So when the economy is in natural rate of unemployment or NAIRU, that is a stage where inflation cannot rise up. Okay, so that is a stage where which is representing the equilibrium between the state of the economy and the labor market. So what will be NAIRU? NAIRU will be a rate of unemployment for which change in the rate of inflation is equal to 0. Okay, so here the fourth option you see, it is given rate of unemployment which is equal to the rate of inflation. No, when rate of unemployment cannot be equal to the rate of inflation, whereas NAIRU is a rate of unemployment where the change in the rate of inflation is 0, because at the point of NAIRU the inflation cannot increase, it does not lead inflation to rise up. So it is a point where the labor market and the economy is in the equilibrium. So state represent the equilibrium between the state of the economy and labor market, and at this point it is evident that the level of unemployment that is evident in an economy that does not cause inflation to rise up. Because of this natural rate of unemployment or the level of NRU or NAIRU, the inflation cannot rise up. Okay, so that is a point where the rate of inflation is equal to 0. Okay, so at natural rate of unemployment or NAIRU, the rate of inflation will be 0. Okay, and when if the continuation, if the actual level of unemployment is less than the natural level of unemployment, what happen? Inflation will increase. If the actual level of unemployment is greater than the natural level of unemployment, what will happen? Inflation will decrease. And if the point, whereas when the economy is in NAIRU, at that time the level of inflation will be 0. The inflation cannot be increased at this point. Okay, so that is the answer. So rate is the rate of unemployment for which the change in rate of inflation is 0. The inflation rate cannot rise up in this point. Next question, this was asked in June 2019. The long-term chronic unemployment arising from imbalance between the skills and other characteristics of workers in the market and the need of employers is known as none other than structural unemployment. So, when we discussed about the structural unemployment, we have referred it as a chronic unemployment or otherwise permanent unemployment. So structural unemployment is long term in nature. Because why it is happening? Because it is also a supply side aspect. The supplied labor is not able to meet the demand of the employers. Okay, we are having supply of labors, but the supplied labors lack the efficiencies or skills in order to meet the demand of the employer. So employers' job requirements are not met by the supplied labors. That is structural unemployment, and it is supply side aspect, and it is a permanent unemployment, and it is a long term unemployment. So the long term chronic unemployment arising from imbalance between the skills and other characteristics of the worker in the market and the need of the employers. So clearly the definition of the structural unemployment is structural unemployment. Okay, so see, the unemployed workers may lack the skills needed for the jobs, or they may not live in the part of the country or world where the jobs are available. That is structural unemployment. The structural unemployment is one of the 5 major categories of the unemployment distinguished by economists, and it is generally considered as one of the permanent type of unemployment, and it is a type of long-term unemployment that has multiple causes. Okay, so it's a permanent unemployment, it's a long-term unemployment, it's a chronic unemployment, and it's a supply side aspect of unemployment caused because of the supply side issues. So definitely the answer of this question will be structural unemployment. So now a question of NTA December 2019, and the last question from types of unemployment. So if you see the pattern, every year at least one question is been asked from types of unemployment. So a very important topic which you should not skip. Okay. So let's see this question. This is a repeated question. We have seen this question in 2012 question paper also. The same question, discouraged unemployment is present in India and agricultural productivity at margin is close to 0. So that is basically the same question has been seen in 2012 December also, but in 2012 the reason was given as marginal productivity of the labor is equal to 0. So here instead of the marginal productivity they have given agricultural productivity at margin is close to 0, which is same. Even though the way the sentence has been framed is different, both the reason given is same and both the assertion given is same. So here we know that discouraged unemployment is present in case of India. Yeah, India being an overpopulated country, India is having agricultural surplus labors in agricultural sector, and India is having discouraged unemployment. Okay. And moving on to the reason, agricultural productivity at margin is close to 0. Even that is correct. When there is discouraged unemployment, what happened? The marginal productivity of the discouragedly unemployed labor is 0. The labor is appeared to be employed, but the effective employment is not being seen in the output. So both the assertion and reason are true, and reason is the correct explanation of assertion. Therefore 1 will be the answer. Both A and R are true, and R is the correct explanation of assertion. See, this is type of unemployment usually found in overpopulated, underdeveloped countries, and more particularly in agricultural sector. So this statement alone clarifies the assertion. Discouraged unemployment is present in India because India is an overpopulated country, and India is also having surplus agricultural labor in agricultural sector. And some of these workers are surplus as they do not add anything to the volume of production, and the marginal productivity of them appears to be 0 or negative. Okay, so from this the answer is both A and R are true, and R is the correct explanation of A. Okay, so this is all about the previous equations of types of unemployment. So once again, types of unemployment is very important topic, and when we take the natural rate of unemployment, it is related to the concepts of the Phillips curve also. So when we take the long run Phillips curve, the actual level of unemployment and natural level of unemployment determines the rate of inflation is also discussed. So this is very important. Prepare well. Thank you.